A common way of testing and something that was popular early on in the testing space was, can you do drag and drop item types? We can, and we've called this the sort item type. So it goes beyond drag and drop, but the functionality does utilize the drag and drop concept. So imagine that you say sort the following countries with its continent. I don't know if it should be there. Pretend like I know grammar better. So it takes a while to set up a sort item type. So you have categories and you have statements. So the categories are, where do you want to sort these items into? So let's say we want to sort them into North America, Europe, and Asia. I'll just spare you doing all of the continents. You can set the maximum allowed statements. So maybe if you're doing a high, medium, and low, or most important to least important, you can establish, you can only do 3 statements in here, so you can't make everything the most important. In my example, the max allowed statements probably doesn't make a ton of sense. But then I can start to put in statements. So France is my first country. Great Britain. I apologize for any misspellings. And then you can just continue to add countries. China, USA. Add our friends to the north in Canada. We'll add South Korea. So I'll stop there, but you can establish what the correct category is. So if France belongs in Europe, if Great Britain belongs in Europe, China belongs in Asia, etc., you can start to feel how you establish the correct answer. You can give them each a point value. And then if people don't put them in the right spot, they'll be counted incorrectly. The naming, all that is, you can name these whatever you want. I probably wouldn't call them sort _1 _1. I'd call it FR or use the country code or something like that as the name. When I hit finish, you can see it lines them up in that drag and drop method. You can make it required. You can change the layout. But at runtime, when I click on the eyeball, it will allow me to choose my questions by dragging and dropping them. So if I like Great Britain in Europe, I drag it over there. It adds it to that column. If I like South Korea in North America, I'm like, oops, I wasn't reading that right. I can drag it down to the correct spot. Made a little mistake there. So South Korea goes where it belongs. U.S. Canada goes to North America. So you can kind of get a feel for how that works. Now, when I had that sort enforcement that said a max statements, pretend like North America only allowed 1. If I tried to drag a second one in, it would throw it right back into the sort left-hand sort column and say you can only add a minimum or maximum. But that's the dragging and dropping, the matching, the sorting item type, which can be really useful if you have some bucketed type questions.